The real reason and truth why your old driver doesn't go anywhere. What are we saying? 289 carry. Let me paint you a picture. You hit your irons as far as your friends. You might even hit your fairway wood further than their driver. But they've just gone and bought a brand new 2022 driver and now out driving you, even though you swing it faster. So surely the only answer is for you yourself to go and spend £400 plus on a 2022 driver, or is it? The one constant through this video is clubhead speed. We are not changing clubhead speed and it will stay on average around the 110 mark. Player A has the wrong technique and wrong equipment, resulting in a drop off of carry distance off the tee. Player B has the right technique but the wrong equipment. And then player C has the right equipment and right technique with the same clubhead speed as player A and B, but you will see a significant change in carry distance between each player. This isn't about technology, this is about balance of technique and equipment for the right player. Now you are a club fitter's wet dream if you come in with these particular numbers, which is what I'm going to try and create with a couple of shots down here on one of the par 4s at Sanford, and we'll get the data on the GC3 here. If you launch the ball at, I don't know, 7 to 8 degrees in terms of launch angle, so you have a 10.5 degree driver but you launch it at 7, 8, and you spin the ball in the high 3000s, 4000, something like that, I know, especially from the past, that I've had hitting drivers as well as fitting for drivers. That's kind of perfect, and I'm hoping that's going to come out nicely. Now, I couldn't have asked for better numbers there. 4,000 RPM. We've got a pretty neutral angular attack. I always hit up on the ball, so that is essentially me hitting down on it. Decent club head speed, decent efficiency, and I am laughing if I'm a club fitter right now because I know I'm going to gain you 20 yards. And this mark on the top here is a telltale sign. If you have this on one of your drivers at the moment, currently, and you're thinking about getting a driver fit, please don't. Because unless you get rid of this mark at the top here consistently in your technique, there's no driver out there in the market that's going to seriously gain you distance opposed to the technique. Right, let's add my distance, shall we? Club head speed, the same. We're going to change the swing path slightly, mainly because that's the only way I can swing with this angular attack going up, and that's the number we're going to be looking at more importantly. But swing path doesn't need to change. Now, the big thing, and one thing that I do see when I've done club fits in the past or increased people's ball speed, and the only thing relevant to swing path with this is that if you do aggressively come this way, or even aggressively come this way, you are always glancing the ball. You're not going through it with your laces. And I'll be very interested to find out in the comments down below, you've gone for a club fit, spent 20 minutes, and how much of it was a club fit and how much of it was a lesson? How much did the custom fitter go, actually, if you just move your ball position forward, or maybe sort out your feet alignment, shoulder alignment, how much did that make a difference compared to the actual golf club itself? Because I have to say, all my biggest changes with all my clients in the past is more down to the technique than the club. And I'm not saying club fits are pointless, and we'll get onto that, where there is merit, opposed to just raw distance. I mean, oh, the club head speed's good. Be a good number. 3,100, 250 carry. Now, those two drives simply couldn't explain it better for me. First drive, faster, 2 miles an hour faster in terms of club head speed, and actually quite efficient as well. We had almost 5 miles an hour more ball speed. So let's imagine that drive there was a brand new Stealth, for example. Increase that ball speed, was able to go faster because it's lighter, carbon, 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 X, Y, and Z. However, the technique with my third swing, because it had that added launch, and because I was decreasing the spin loft, I'm going to show you a nice little diagram here that explains it incredibly well. Angular attack is up, closer to the 13.5 I have on this driver, yet I'm not increasing the loft. I'm not saying to you guys, tee the ball nice and high, a foot in the air, and do this, because it's going to balloon like a wedge would at 40 degrees. The whole point that I'm going to show you now is increase this angular attack, keep this dynamic loft down. Okay, so let's talk about player B. Player A, we've obviously discussed technique, get that launch up. We're going to some drills at the moment, but maybe you're already hitting up on the golf ball. Maybe all of a sudden you're getting the right impact factors, but you're still not getting the distance. You're not getting under the 2000. And that's where tech definitely comes in, but not necessarily new tech. More club head speed isn't going to help your problem. You need to make sure the club is set up right for you. Opposite end of the spectrum. I've got a PXG 0811X Gen 2. So we're still talking quite old. I mean, this is still 4 years old, 5 years old, something like that. Nothing recent. You can pick this up 100 to 150 pounds on eBay. Got 6.0, has the stiff shaft in it. Let's see what this carries. Again, similar club head speed, and I imagine similar ball speed as well. You can just see it drop out the air at that distance. 106. So even at 106, you can see the spin rate. That's hilarious. And that's carried 261. So that's almost 4 miles an hour slower, much lower ball speed, 149 ball speed, yet carried the same distance as all the other ones. 270 carry. Let's see if we can get that 110 speed. Difficult gauging with these different drivers. Slightly smaller shaft as well, this. I think I've slowly, oh no, it's still 106. God, swinging these slow. 266, that's got the most carry out today. 106. Angle attack, 8 degrees, but look at the launch angle, 14. Therefore, we've got 8 degrees in terms of spin loft, hence why it's spinning so low. Now imagine, guys, if I had an XR in a 9-degree head with a 6.0 has the shaft, I'd be seeing exactly the same numbers. This isn't because it's a Gen 2, it's because it's getting the correct impact factors and obviously the right ball numbers as well. Well, I've hit that. Hopefully that's good club head speed. 109. Be good. What are we saying? 289 carry. Guys, it's so important getting the right shaft and head. Now, if you're player A at the start of the video that is hitting down on it, just like that, creating way too much spin, no matter what driver you get, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be teeing the ball too low because you don't want to roof the driver. Like I showed you with the ping driver head, you're going to be teeing it down like here because you don't want to sky your nice looking driver, and I completely understand that. The idea, and this is what I want you guys to do, especially on the range, don't take it to the golf course because you're not going to be able to do it to the golf course. Tee it really high. Get an old driver, get a really cheap driver, nice and high, and get used to the idea of hitting up onto the golf ball because we want to get the idea of increasing our angular attack, whereas you're used to going like this. Number 2, feel like your shoulder alignment wants to point out more to the target, not down like this. And a lot of guys set up across the golf ball naturally. Get your shoulder tucked in behind you. Get your shoulders pointing to the target where you want it to go. And number 2 is trying to keep that driver at the target. If you're here, which most people are, especially if you've got that out-in swing path, and I'll show you that again at the start of the video, a lot of people do this because they don't want to hit it right. The issue with this is you're adding loft. You're going to add spin, and not only are you coming down, but you're adding loft at the same time, hence why you're getting such spinny shots. And when you combine both, higher tee, getting the shoulders behind the golf ball, we don't want to lean because we still want to go with the golf ball, but getting that idea of pre-shot routine set up nicely and then following through the target, that's naturally going to drop your spin. Once you've got those and you still have the extra amount of spin, that's when you can start changing your head. That's when you can start changing the shaft. And those elements now, because you've got the correct technique, are going to make a big difference to your driver distance. Now, if you're watching this video and you swing it like player B, 110 miles an hour, 106 miles an hour, and you're not carrying it further than 230, 240 yards, you must look at your launch angle. You must look at your impact factors first. If you are carrying it 260, 265, and you've got a decent angular attack, it's time to have a look at a different driver. But hopefully, as I've shown you through this video, you don't need a brand new one. Go and get something low spinning with a low spin shaft, and it'll do just the trick for 100 quid.